going to talk to you about how my weightlifting training has been going. If you're new here, my name's Beth and I'm an athlete in the sports of CrossFit and weightlifting. I compete mainly in CrossFit because I enjoy it and I love competing in teams, but it's basically a hobby. I'm by no means elite, and for the longest time weightlifting was my favourite part of the sport of CrossFit. And I'm a bigger girl, I'm plus size, I'm size 18 in the UK and I'm over 100 kilos, so moving heavy barbells was always my thing. And over the last couple of years I realised that it's okay to really enjoy one aspect of CrossFit more than the rest. So for me that was weightlifting. After the pandemic I started training at another gym and we had a really good weightlifting coach there. I loved it, and then after that unfortunately that gym closed and I still carried on training under the same coach but kind of ditched a bit of the CrossFit and did a lot more weightlifting for about 4 months. My goals shifted and I decided I wanted to compete in weightlifting, but then before I could take a breath everything changed again and long story short I'm now at a CrossFit gym again and I'm doing CrossFit and weightlifting alongside each other but still wanting to compete in weightlifting. So basically over the last couple of months Ben, my coach, who was coaching me at T4 and basically since then has continued to coach me but this time online, and I'm doing weightlifting sessions alongside CrossFit, which is challenging. I'm doing one 30-minute session, one about an hour session and another hour-long session before my CrossFit training on 3 days a week, and then I'm also obviously doing some Olympic weightlifting within the CrossFit programming too, so that's keeping up my strength and I don't need to do any extra squats or anything like that because I've kind of got that residual strength still. And my goals with Olympic weightlifting are to qualify for the English Championships, which is the national competition for England. My PB lifts are already over the qualifying total for the English Championships, so I'm really happy about that. But basically I also struggle with anxiety and I have a very full-on job. As well as being an athlete I also work full-time and it's in a super stressful, very high energy sapping job. I'm a teacher and I find it very hard to manage the two, and the competition that I'm doing in order to attempt to qualify for the English Championships is at the end of the summer term, so it is at my most exhausted I am across the year as a teacher. So that in itself is going to be really difficult, but hopefully I can do it. So my training over the last month has looked like a lot of snatches and clean and jerk with some technique work. There's been some hang snatches, some hang cleans, and then a lot of volume at percentages around the 70 to 80% range. I think in CrossFit we can think that we get better at weightlifting by maxing out all the time, but that's really not true. And since training more in Olympic weightlifting I've realised that it is training at that 70 to 80% range, and the programming that my coach gives me is so effective that I just need to listen to that and do the training that he's given me, and that is quite hard to adjust to coming from a CrossFit background where I feel like I need to be hitting those heavy weights all the time, and I feel like if I don't hit those heavy weights then I've like lost the ability to, but that's actually not true. So the volume's been quite high and I've been really trying to focus on technique, but I have been finding it a little bit harder not having that in-person coaching because I feel like my technique can go out the window a little bit, and although I'm sending videos to my coach sometimes I feel like maybe they look better in videos than they actually do in person and I'm hoping that's not the case. I've definitely had a few ropey weeks. I had one a couple weeks ago where I was missing a snatch at 55 kilos and that really got to me, but we all do have off days, and obviously being a female my cycle does affect my training sometimes, and I had a look on Natural Cycles, which is an app I use to track my cycle, and it said that basically I was on day 15 and day 15 is notoriously bad for me. It's the day after ovulation and hormones dramatically change at that point and I experience quite extreme fatigue. My coordination goes out of the window and that makes something like snatching very difficult, so hopefully I'm putting it down to that. In the first few weeks of this training cycle the weights were quite light but it was quite high volume, and I find that really difficult. I find that my body feels really beaten up when I do quite high volume work. especially on top of CrossFit. And at this point I was doing CrossFit 5 times a week, as well as the Olympic weightlifting on top of that. So that's 5 CrossFit sessions, which is quite a lot. In the last couple of weeks, the weights have been getting slightly heavier and I've been starting hitting some of those heavier lifts. And I've also taken the decision to drop my CrossFit sessions down to 4 times a week, and also my training as a whole. So basically, especially with the exhaustion, and this came about because I was so exhausted from my job, I was finding that it was very difficult difficult to train and my body was feeling really battered from all of the volume. So I always find it really hard to drop my training down any amount, and it was really difficult for me to go from 6 days a week to 5 days a week, but it definitely helped me and I progressed a lot more since doing that. So I had a look at my training and I thought, I'm doing a lot of volume, I'm doing a lot of extra weightlifting on top of the CrossFit, and I definitely do benefit from having a double day off. And also my work is very intense at the start of the week. I find it super difficult to find the energy on like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I have a lot more energy on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So what I did is I changed my training, so I'm only training 4 days a week, and I train Tuesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday, which I'm finding is a lot better for me and my body feels a lot better recovered. But not only that, I'm able to push harder when I do train, and I'm finding my lifts are much more consistent, and I'm also finding time in that extra day off to do some more stretching and things that are better for my body, and I'm finding that I'm feeling a lot better in myself. So that's something that I'm going to continue. I'm going to keep the 4 days a week because my body's loving it and I'm enjoying it, and I feel like I've got more balance in my life because of it. I don't feel like doing any extra CrossFit would have helped me get to that Olympic weightlifting goal of getting to the English champs. So in the last 2 weeks I've had some pretty cool little wins. In CrossFit we did a 20-minute workout, I think it was, or it might have been even longer. It was a really sweaty, really difficult workout, and then after that 20-minute workout we had 7 minutes to build up to a heavy snatch. Now, as more of an Olympic weightlifter right now, I do not max out when I'm out of breath. I do not max out when I'm tired. I do all of that before the CrossFit sessions, so that was going to be really hard for me. But I managed to hit 65 kilos first time, which used to be my old 1 rep max, and that's kind of like a sticky weight for me in my head. And then I literally had about 1 minute left to attempt another weight, and I put 74 kilos on the bar, and as you can see I nearly got it. It's definitely there. I got underneath it, I caught it, but I wasn't patient enough and I didn't stand it up. But that probably was the leg fatigue, and the fact that I can do that after such a large CrossFit workout. And also that was a ridiculous jump for me to take. No one in their right mind should take a 9 kilo jump after only lifting a minute ago. But I did it because I'm silly. But I think that's a good sign that there is a lot more in the tank, and hopefully this competition that's coming up will go well. To qualify for the English Championships I need to get a total of 158 kilos. That can be made up by numbers from each of the lifts. So I could hit a 65 kilo snatch and then a 93 kilo clean and jerk, or a 70 kilo snatch and an 88 kilo clean and jerk. My clean and jerk is a lot stronger than my snatch and it's a lot more consistent, but I do struggle a little bit more with the lockout, so we will see. I tend to get a bit in my head anything over 60 kilos with the snatch, and my biggest fear is obviously because I struggle a lot with anxiety that I might bottle it and not be able to snatch and then miss my lifts later on. It's also just the thought that I might be completely exhausted and I will end up missing. But that's the challenges I have to face as an athlete that's trying to qualify for the English Championships at the same time as just being a regular person with a regular job. At the end of the day, I'm going to it with an Eddie the Eagle attitude, and it's one of my favourite films ever.
Mum, where's my purple rucksack?
I'm going to be an Olympic ski jumper.
If you don't know who he was a British skier or a ski jumper, and he had this dream of always wanting to go to the Olympics, and he just wanted to qualify, and in the end he did qualify and he went to the Olympics. He didn't win, he just competed, and that is always my goal with Olympic weightlifting, is I just want to turn up. I'm 105 kilos currently, so I'm in the super heavyweight category, which is the 87 plus. I'm probably not at a competitive level with the other girls that are in my category, but that is totally okay with me. I'm happy to just try and get there. And I think we need more people in Olympic weightlifting that just want to do it, that just want to have a go or enjoy competing in the same way that so many of us enjoy competing in CrossFit. So it's a really exciting time and I will let you know how it goes. But my training has been going well. I'm sure I would have made more progress if I was just doing the weightlifting and not doing the CrossFit, but quite honestly I am really enjoying doing the CrossFit alongside weightlifting, and it's giving me some different and new challenges alongside weightlifting. And honestly I feel like adding CrossFit into my training is really good for my mental health. And when I was just doing weightlifting, I wasn't feeling as positive as I am now. So I definitely think that's a good change. I'm also going to do an update on my CrossFit training very soon. If you like videos like this and you're interested in seeing more of my training, I'm going to link one of my CrossFit vlogs right here. Thank you for watching this video and I will see you in the next one. Bye!